Hooray for Hollyweird! Sean, Lexi, and a shark. They're breaking down all your favorite movies, TVs, and sharks. Hooray for Hollyweird! Hello, welcome to Hollyweird.
I thought you were gonna hit him with the Shark Month.
Shark Month. Oh yeah, Shark Month. Hollyweird. Shark Month. Fuck.
I know, he was ready.
Well, we are officially into Shark Month now. We have a real Hollywood flick here for everyone. Well, Hollywood franchise, a real Hollywood franchise here. We got a Steven Spielberg flick, followed by 3 non-Steven Spielberg flicks. She's got her Amblin shirt on. Before we start, I do want to shout out everyone that came to the live show, the online live show. Wasn't the same energy as when we have Joe, but it was fun. It was fun. We watched, what did we watch? The Stepfather. It was the Stepfather, which really, I'm thinking about doing the Stepfather 2 this weekend. It'll be over by the time everyone hears this, but we talked about it in the live show because the Stepfather is fucking nuts, and the Stepfather 2 sounds even crazier.
Wait, who plays lead in that?
Oh, what the fuck is his name? O'Doyle. Let me pull up his name. And he's in the second one too. And dude, he is acting his balls off. Oh, Terry O'Quinn. Terry O'Quinn. He's fucking great in it. It's actually crazy how good he is in it.
It's funny because I think this stems from the remake and not the original. The photo of like that silhouette of a man at the top of a staircase, is that from the original too? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, it's not. It's
just
there is
the
a
remake.
staircase scene in it, but it's not like shadowy figure.
Oh, well, that is like one of, I think it was like a poster photo or something for the remake then. And Rafa always stands at the top of the stairs to the basement. And I always think of that because that's exactly what he looks like.
The Step Rafa.
Yes.
But yeah, that was super fun. So thanks for everyone that tuned in. We're going to do more of those. So patreon.com/IHateHorror. And we got those new sticker packs we're going to announce that soon. So stay tuned.
Oh.
And we're going to have some shark content on the Patreon soon. Some extra bonuses of some of these shark movies because I'm catching up, man. I was like, you know what?
How are we feeling?
It's dicey. It's a dicey situation.
I was worried about this. Oh, no, I was worried about this.
Here's what I'm going to say. I watched 47 Meters Down.
Yes.
And I watched Open Water.
Yes.
And I watched The Shallows.
The trifecta, if you will.
Yes, the trifecta of the early aughts. If that cut is weird, it's because we had some issues. I loved 47 Meters Down. Open Water, and I'm going to save these because are we talking about some of these next week?
Next week we're doing Bait and Shark Night, but I mean, It's Shark Month, baby. Well, we can do whatever we want.
And we're going to do a bonus episode too on it. So I want to do a bonus on both of those.
We can totally do that. But if we're talking Open Water on a bonus, you need to see the found footage one because it's crazy.
The found footage one?
I think it's the third one is like a found footage shark movie.
But which one?
Open Water.
Oh, well, Open Water is insane because I remember that went to theaters. I remember it caught a buzz. And I know this is the Jaws episode, but whatever. It is shot in the quality of an older, like an early 2000s porn. It's
crazy.
Unreal. I could not believe, dude, I was like, this can't be the quality. So then I went and I looked to find it because I downloaded it. I went and found a version online that was like streaming, same quality. And I was like, this cannot be the right movie. This did not go to theaters. Like, they're not even actors. It was crazy. And I was like, it was the right movie. But
I'm not the biggest, surprising twist to that. I'm not the biggest fan of Open Water. at
Yeah.
all, but also I can't see the movie. So
Here's the weird thing. 47 meters down, open water. I don't know if they're shark movies. And that's something we're going to have to talk about here.
we're going to dive into that later.
The Shallows is a shark movie. The Shallows is a shark movie.
Okay, yes.
All of Lexi's like social media clips on Instagram have basically been me being like, shark movies aren't a thing. So I don't know how you're going to sway me. Anyway.
Well, I was worried because I rewatched the franchise as well. And you had texted me being like, 47 meters is so fucking good. And then when I was rewatching the Jaws franchise, I was like, oh, this is going to take the wind out of his sails so fucking quickly.
Well, Jaws is fucking weird because Jaws is a shark movie.
But we're gonna reel you back in with Shark Night.
I think you might, which is, by the way, actually titled Shark Night 3D, but that's okay. If you have the 3D in the name, not good. Not a good look. I love that they've tried to Oh, what?
Bait is also Bait 3D, technically speaking.
Why was it all water movies where they were like, let's make it 3D, like Piranha 3 Double D or whatever the fuck it was called? Why did they think that fish, of all the things,
yes,
fish are the things we need in 3D?
I don't know, but I was thinking of Piranha. When I was watching Jaws 2, because I was like, oh, Piranha does this so much better.
I'm going to have to say a lot of movies do this better. Everything they're trying to do in these movies, I would argue, is maybe better, has been done better. But here's the weird part. So these Jaws movies, can we get years on these? The Jaws franchise?
It's 70. It's 75, 78, 83, and then 87?
Yes, you nailed it.
Sweet.
Yep, you nailed it. Good job. Boy, we complain about movies being unoriginal now. Hey, go back to this time fucking period, because open water and let's throw 47 meters down into that also. They were like, hey, you know what's really scary? Fucking drowning. Drowning and sharks. And obviously the two go together pretty fucking well. And for some reason, everyone in Jaws was like, it's only the fucking shark, baby. We're only dealing with the fucking shark. Nothing else.
Dude, I hadn't, and I'll say this at the top, I haven't rewatched the Jaws franchise in a long time. Jaws is actually the movie I've seen in most forums as well. I've seen it in 3D. I've seen it at the drive-in. I've seen 4K. I've seen Blu-ray. I've seen it all. But the franchise I hadn't watched, like the sequels, in a very long time. Poof, doggy.
It's rough. It's fucking rough. It's fucking
And
rough.
I forgot that there's like it's a family franchise.
Yes.
Which is fucking insane.
And not necessary, even remotely, especially because they retcon 3. So, which people forget about, but that's fine. It's fucking nuts. Why has there not been a modern Jaws sequel?
Okay, I had this little thought, and I wanted to text you about it, but I was like, no, I want to ask him. Modern Jaws sequel. I feel like this is inevitable. Curious your thoughts. Especially with the way that fads are right now with IPs, do you think there will ever be a Jaws prequel with Quint?
Well, that's what they wanted to make.
When?
For 2. 2 was originally supposed to be the story of the USS Indianapolis.
That's what I was. I could see them trying to bring Jaws back, but with that,
I could see that too, because that's the new thing.
Yes, and
that's the new thing of like, hey, it's not that movie, but then at the end you're like, oh, this is a prequel to that movie, dude. That happened with that Rosemary's Baby prequel that came out recently. I actually liked it, but at the end when they reveal it's Rosemary's Baby and you're like, what the fuck? was like, because the whole time I was like, dude, this is such a fucking copycat of Rosemary's Baby. Like, this is fucking nuts. And then at the end you see it, but I was like, oh, what the fuck?
If he is in my head right now, just because I've been thinking about Freaky Tales a lot. USS, is it Indianapolis? I should know this.
Indianapolis. Yeah.
Pedro Pascal is Quint. How are we feeling?
Ooh, I love it. That's a great casting choice. I fucking
That's what I'm
love
saying.
it. I
would
it.
love
That's
that
right
movie.
up there with.
And it is like, it's a shark movie. Like he says, however many men went into the water that day.
Yeah. Well, there is a movie about it. But it's fucking old now. Fuck it. Paul would probably throw a fit.
What is happening? Anyway, I don't give a fuck. New movie, new Jaws, bring it back. Jaws, the origin. Jaws Origins.
Correct. Jaws Origins. Baby Jaws. Market it like baby Yoda and sell the toys, sell the shit out of the toys. But see, what would happen is, and this is what all these prequels do, a lot of them do now, which would be like the bummer, is it's like this boring ass movie. And then at the end, you see like baby Jaws being born. And you're like, oh, that's what this was?
But dude, I'm surprised Universal hasn't done that already, especially with the IP boom happening right now. Dangerous Animals might reignite that a little bit because that's like doing very well. I don't know, whatever. But they could actually make that like a really good movie.
Yeah.
And a fun shark movie.
You're talking about almost 40 years since the last Jaws movie. And it got me thinking, because people get all bent out of shape about remakes and sequels and all that shit. I've come up with something. I'm going to pitch it to all the guilds. Directors, producers, actors, get me in there. I've got an idea. I've got an idea to solve all of Hollywood's remake and prequel problems and sequel problems. Okay. It's a 2-strike rule. There's 2 strikes. Okay.
Too liberal with that.
No. First strike. If you make 2 or more sequels, you're on strike 1. 2 plus.
Cosign.
2 plus.
Cosign.
You got a strike against your franchise. Strike 2, if you hit it, there are severe consequences. And that is if the second sequel or the third movie, you hit the strike, if that movie is bad, your franchise enters public domain.
You get put to death.
No, you enter public domain and anyone can make a fucking movie about it.
That's kind of fun and I kind of love that.
I don't give a shit. You've lost the right to the franchise.
I'm okay with that.
I would argue that even after strike 1, you're now open to doing a sequel or a reboot. I would almost allow that on strike 1, but strike 2, you don't even own it anymore. You're gone. You're done. It's open to anyone who wants to make anything. Because
I know.
I was thinking Jaws is so, I still don't love Jaws. I don't fully get it. And then you watch these sequels, and it's sort of like when you watch like Friday the 13th or Halloween, and you're like, why are people so protective of these fucking franchises? Because they made 20 bad fucking movies, and there's like 1 or 2 great ones, and it like, hey, it's fair game. It's fucking fair game.
It is fair game. I just hate modernizing something that's like a time capsule of like the 80s. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's where my gripe comes from, because it's like, I don't want to see this in high definition. I want grainy, shitty cigarette burns on the film.
But you still have it. You always have it to watch.
Yeah, and I know this is where you and I always butt heads. And you did turn me on this quite a bit.
A little bit, yeah.
But still, like Friday the 13th at this point, I don't fucking care. There are some where it's like, I don't love the idea of bringing it to 2025. But
yeah. Hey.
Like the Friday the 13th remake, fucking, I love it. I have nothing but good things to say.
I fucking love it too, baby.
It's so fun.
It too. Yeah. So that was one thing. The other thing I had, which I wanted to kind of talk about, was before we get into the movies, was where's my note on this? Because it was. This is great. This makes for great podcasting. Wait, this is all my sequel rant. I went on like a big rant. I was just walking and talking into my notes. See, I want to talk about all of these things. This is about drowning. Where's my note that I was thinking of?
Oh, I'm going to read you a quick statistic while we wait. Should shark movies be their own subgenre? Yes, they should. 84%. No, they should be a part of animal movies. 16%. Of that 16% is Joe. I messaged Joe and said, "Are you just being a shit starter? Or do you actually believe that?" To which he responded, quote, "Hee hee," unquote.
Wait, oh, I can't find my note on this. What did I do with this? This was like my favorite note. Okay, so I wanted to save this. Okay, here it is. I wanted to save this topic for like a full episode, which was going to be, I was thinking about statues.
Okay.
Statues are fucking cool. Like if you have a statue of yourself, that's pretty fucking sick. It lasts
Break
forever.
it into a million pieces.
It lasts forever. Statues are fucking sick. They're reserved for special occasions. And then I was thinking about like when you're cemented in a statue, that's it. You're in a statue. So I wanted to talk to you one day about Mount Rushmore type of thing. Like,
hey, what the fuck are we talking about right now?
I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. Talk about like the best horror people or whatever who deserve statues or whatever. Where does this rank Jaws in terms of like horror movies though?
Okay, horror movies, right?
Because I don't think it's a horror movie.
I would call Jaws, gun to my head, probably an action movie.
I would agree. And it's weird
maybe a
because,
thriller.
So it was interesting because I was doing some research on Jaws and Steven Spielberg was openly like, hey, we couldn't get the shots I wanted because it was going to end up being a fucking monster movie, basically. And he was like, but because I couldn't get the shots, I turned it into this like Hitchcock type movie where you never see the shark. And
bitch,
I've got some things to say about Mr. Spielberg.
Okay, well, tread lightly, but
but he said this thing where he was like, he went this Hitchcockian way. And then I was like, oh, well, that makes sense because Hitchcock, do we even consider any of his movies a horror movie besides Psycho, which still I question because it's like, is Silence of the Lambs a horror movie? Not really, in my opinion.
This is very interesting. I did no research. I mean, I've read the Jaws log before, but the fact that he's like, I went Hitchcockian with it. First of all, God damn it, Spielberg, don't make me take off this shirt because you are responsible for the murder of thousands of sharks. And now you're lying through your teeth and saying that you went Hitchcock. We all know that the shark broke. We know that's what happened.
It's true. It's so fucking weird. But yeah, I don't know. There's just not a lot of scariness to Jaws or its sequels. And I really think what scares me the most about like 47 meters down, because like 47 meters down in open water, there were moments where I was like guttural, like, I hate this. I hate watching this. And the idea of drowning is like the scariest shit in the world to me. Drowning is terrifying. I don't know if there's a worse way to die.
I know. I feel like in the moment, horrific. It doesn't scare me as a concept. Like, that is not one of the worst ways I think of dying is drowning.
What's the worst?
Oh, there are a lot of ways that you can die that are pretty fucking bad. But I'm a swimmer pool girl. Like, you know what I mean? So the idea of drowning, it's like,
pool.
Yeah, I'm a swimmer girl. I'm a pool girl. I spent
swimmer/pool.
Like, I mean, you know, I never shut up about it. I grew up with an in-ground pool. I was in that and never on land for the first like 11 years of my life. So the notion of, why am I holding Rudy now? The notion The notion of drowning doesn't like super freak me out, but also because I feel like I wouldn't because I've been swimming my whole life. You know what I mean? It's like a whole
I
thing.
guess,
I
but
could
it freaks
drown
me out.
any day.
It freaks me out. Freaks me out. Because, dude, like, if you like catching on fire, like, I feel like you stop feeling things pretty quick. Like, I feel like it's like a pretty, like, your body probably shuts down super fast. And then, like, smoke inhalation, if there's a fire, it's like, I feel like you just like are like, oh man, it's hard to breathe. And then you just like pass out. Drowning is like you can feel water coming into your fucking lungs.
Yeah, because there really is no like worse sensation than like not being able to breathe for some reason.
Yes.
You know?
And this is what, anyway, it bugs me out. But Jaws lacks that. Jaws lacks that in every single one of their movies. 3 sort of hits the drowning thing when for some reason Jaws bangs into the glass and floods a facility.
But like, as she should. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, that is the ultimate good for her movie.
Was that a female shark in that one?
Yes, it's the mommy who is mad that her baby was taken.
Yes, it is the mom. It is the mom. It is the mom. You're right.
So, like, the fact that they killed her at the end, I was like, be so fucking serious. Like, nobody was rooting for the human. It's a SeaWorld movie. Like, no one was rooting for the humans to survive.
Yeah, no, it's insane. Wait, well, let's wait to get there. So,
okay,
Universe Jaws. We'll talk about Jaws 1 real quick, and everyone probably knows a lot of these facts, so whatever. Universal purchased the rights in 1973 to the book for $175,000. In 2024, that money, with inflation, is $1,240,000.
That's fucking crazy.
That's nuts. That's fucking nuts. Before production began, Steven Spielberg grew reluctant. Oh, wait, no, that's the second one. Whoopsies. Oh, wait, no. It was the first one. He was reluctant to do Jaws because he was afraid of being typecast as the truck and shark director. It's a quote.
No one has ever put those two together.
The fuck are you talking about? So that was one of that hit my little bullshit meter with old Stevie. There's a few in here that I've found that I'm like, that's
I'm a little scared.
Weird.
What if Tobe Hooper actually directed Jaws?
Oh shit. That was his payback.
Yes.
He was like, Tobe, thank you for filming Jaws. And that's why he never did a sequel, because he was like, I can't do it. I don't know how to shoot Jaws.
We should start asking people who actually directed Jaws.
Yes. And just tell them that it's rumored that Tobe Hooper had done it. Dude, I feel like we could start that. If we talk to enough people, like, I feel like it'll just get spread. It'll just get disseminated. And all of our listeners, just start telling people that. Be like, did you hear that Tobe Hooper actually directed Jaws? And that's why Steven Spielberg directed Poltergeist? It was a fucking Tobe who came to him and was like, hey, remember you couldn't direct that shark movie? I don't know how to direct ghosts, brother. Help me out. Help a brother out.
If we started that out, when we are starting it out here right now, when it starts taking wind, there will be a Bloody Disgusting article immediately being like, fact check.
Did Tobe Hooper actually direct Jaws? It was started by 2 morons.
I'm telling everyone that.
Spielberg then, he helps, he gets these script writers. There's like 1 million script writers, but he brings on Carl Gottlieb, who wrote the sitcom The Odd Couple, to make it a little jollier. Make it a little jollier. So he does like a polish on the script and then is brought in because Steven Spielberg's like, hey, this script is so much better. And then they start writing the scripts the night before. Now, just going to say, Mr. Spielberg, the king of Hollywood, writing scripts the night before? And suddenly having mechanical shark issues? And then he's quoted as being like, well, sometimes those mechanical shark issues were good because we didn't have the script written for the next day. And I was like, Very convenient. Also, the sharks are breaking, and that's how you turned it into a Hitchcockian film.
Right. He can spin a story.
He can. And he has, baby.
This is driving me, dude. This is driving me crazy because I'm trying to remember. There was someone I listened to. There was a podcast I listened to with some like director who was talking about how he was on the set of Jaws for like a lot of it, and I'm trying to figure out who it is. And in my head now is Robert Englund, but I know that's not who it is. But I feel like Robert Englund was like, I was actually on the set of Jaws. I was getting the shark out of the water.
It was for sure him, by the way. There's no way it wasn't.
I'm trying to figure it out.
I was Quinn Stanton. I worked with Spielberg, wonderful guy with his fucking nails on. Steven Spielberg. Guy does more hand mannerisms with that glove on. It's so crazy. You know when he talks without the glove, for sure his hand isn't moving like that. Just pointing at everything. Doing the like thinking man gesture with the claw. You're like, wait, what the fuck are you doing? Budget was $4 million, wound up costing about $9 million, they're saying. They also had to rewrite that opening scene where Chrissy is eaten by the shark and pulled away because, again, they claimed that they couldn't shoot it correctly. So he was like, I'm going to do this Hitchcockian thing where she gets yanked away with the cables. Was supposed to take 55 days, ends up taking 159 days, to the point where Spielberg was like, I'm going to get fucking fired. Like 100%, I'm going to get fired. And I'm never going to work in Hollywood again. And he left. He did not shoot the final day of shooting because he claims he was afraid the cast was going to throw him in the ocean. Convenient. I bet we asked the cast if Toby Hooper was on set that last day.
They'll say yes. They'll get real cagey about it, actually.
Real fucking cagey because they signed NDAs. And apparently Steven Spielberg has made this his thing now, so he doesn't show up on the last day of shooting ever anymore, which honestly kind of seems like a dickhead move.
No, I kind of get that because like I never or very rarely do I watch like the last episode of a show. Like I think I would do that if I were a director.
Yeah, but like you're also like the guy and everyone probably wants to be like, woo, we did it. And then the guy is not there. You're like, huh, this is a little weird. That's a little fucking bizarre. 2 scenes were altered following the test screenings. One was the audience was screaming and you couldn't hear, we need to get a bigger boat. Or I think we need it. What is it? I think we need a bigger boat.
You're going to need a bigger boat?
You're going to need a bigger boat. I guess the audience, the way it was laid out before, the audience was screaming over that, which is so nuts that people. So anyway, Brody's reaction after the shark jumps behind him was extended to allow the screams to die down, and the volume of the line was raised. Spielberg also decided that he was greedy for one more scream and reshot the scene in which Hooper discovers Ben Gardner's body using $3,000 of his own money, filmed in his friend's swimming pool in California. For one more scream. How did he know this was going to get fucking screams? Oh, I guess it was test screenings. But why are people screaming at Jaws? It's so fucking crazy to me.
But in 75, maybe.
I guess. When was Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
74.
Is that real, Bam?
Yes. But I think that a lot more people would be willing to go see Jaws than Texas Chainsaw.
I think you're right. I think a lot of people were almost like duped into seeing Jaws by it looking like this. So I guess I could see it. But anyway, so that's Jaws. That's Jaws 1. The story of Quint. What's the guy's name? Marty. What the fuck's the guy's name?
I don't know what you're talking.
Martin Brody. Quint Martin Brody. 2, Martin Brody who was played by what's his name? People are probably so fucking mad. Roy Scheider. I don't have Joe with the facts at the tip of his tongues, and you're just scrolling on the fucking internet.
I'm trying to figure out who this was, but I'm laying it to rest and just saying it was Robert Englund.
Yes, it's Robert Englund. You're never gonna fucking find it.
Toby invited him.
Roy Scheider comes back for 2, even though he said he would never do it. And the reason was because he dropped out of the Deer Hunter and he had a 3-picture deal with Universal. And they were like, listen, motherfucker, because you dropped out of that, if you do Jaws 2, your plate's clean. Forget about it. And we'll pay you whatever you want for Jaws 2. So he did it. But the whole time he was just getting into fights with directors and being like, I hate this fucking movie. Which I fucking love stories like that about actors. I think those are the best. When actors are just like, I never wanted to be in this movie. I fucking hated it. And just caused shit with the director the entire time. I love that shit.
It's so, making a sequel to Jaws is so interesting because it's like, I understand the urge, of course, but if ever there's been a movie that's like almost impossible to make a sequel to, it's fucking Jaws.
100%. 100%. 100%.
So that's so psychotic.
Roy Scheider actually came around on that sequel and was like, listen, man, like, it's a fucking sequel. You were never going to do Jaws again. And the director even of 2 was like, I knew I couldn't make Jaws. Like, I couldn't do it. So I had to go the goofy way, because like there was no way, you're not going to replicate it, and you can't do a Hitchcock movie twice where you're like, oh, you don't see the shark, even though we saw the shark in the first one.
There's a lot of good shark shots in Jaws 2 though.
How do we feel about Jaws 2?
It's fine. I mean, it's not, again, I haven't watched any of the sequels in a while, and I fucking love shark movies. So like, I think that tells you everything you need to know about how I feel about like the franchise. It's not a bad movie. It's just lackluster.
Yeah, I guess. I guess, see, and then this is the thing for me, is like, I don't love 1. So like 2 for me is fine. I have no issue with 2 at all. Like, to me, it makes a lot of sense. But it took 18, because it was 3 years after the original. It took 18 months of pre-production because they wanted to release this ASAP. And they came up with the USS Indianapolis idea. That got shit canned. Then the Universal president was like, they hire this guy, John Hancock, to come in and begin filming. He gets fired. Universal president Sidney Sheinberg was married to Lorraine Gary. And he was like, hey, this is before the original director gets fired. He's like, hey, I've got an idea. What if my wife, Ellen Brody, she's the hero, she's the star. And they were like, hey, we're not doing that. So they handed in a script without that, and then they fired him.
No one, you know how they talk about actors, and I forget what the term is for it, where there is an actor who just like is captivating when they're on screen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's the most opposite of that of any person who exists.
She really is. She really is. And they wanted her to be the star too.
Dude, she is so fucking boring.
She really is.
Take a risk, baby. Like, do something weird. But also, Jaws 2, when I was rewatching it, the first person who, or maybe not the first person, there's the boating accident where the boat just fucking explodes. It's like early in the movie. The woman driving that boat looks just like her.
Yes.
And I thought that was her at first. And I was like, oh, did they kill her off? And so I was just like disoriented for the rest of the movie because they look the exact same. And dude, Jaws 2 has so many fucking people in that movie. It's like confusing.
It's so crazy.
And why is Keith Gordon in it?
I don't know. And also, to your point with the whole cast, whenever you cast like 14 children that all have names and are all characters, especially in the 80s, they all just looked the same.
Yeah.
I had no idea who was fucking who. None of it fucking mattered. I was just like, and it was just boats. It should have been called Jaws 2 Boats, because all we were doing was racing boats, and we were on
sailing.
boats. We're sailors, baby. This is Amityville. We sail in Amityville. They tried to get Steven Spielberg to come on to direct it. Originally, he said, making a sequel to anything is just a cheap carny trick. How many sequels?
Jones.
How many sequels do you think Steven Spielberg has made?
Okay, hold on. There's 4 indies that he did. So 3 sequels, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Okay, hold on. 6?
People at home. Good guess. 4. He's done 4 sequels since Jaws.
What other than indie?
Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, Lost World. Which I did not know he did that. I did not know he directed that. I was shocked when I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did The Lost World and then Crystal Skull.
Crystal Skull's so fucking bad.
You know. Nice try, Stevie. Carny trick, motherfucker. That was hit my bullshit meter hard also. But then, weirdly, in 2022, when asked why he didn't return, he replied, because making the first movie was a nightmare. Yeah, because that's why you called in Toby. There were endless problems with the shark, and it was impossible shoot. I thought my career was over because no one had ever taken a movie 100 days over schedule. Stevie, so you sound like a real backpedaler, brother. You sound like a real...
I'm not liking this side of him that I'm seeing tonight.
I'm not either. He will redeem himself in a note I found about part 3. So he will come to our aid, sort of. So anyway, that original screenwriter was like, I'm not writing her into this as the hero. Hands in a draft without her in it at all. And then the director fired another actress who turned out to be another executive's girlfriend.
Dude. And
then they called him in for a meeting and fired him. But he had started filming the fucking movie, and it was a totally different script. They then bring in Gottlieb again, and he rewrites the whole movie.
Okay.
And they spend a fortune doing this. And Jaws 2 was the first movie to get their little hand slapped by the Directors Guild for breaking the Eastwood rule. Do you know the Eastwood rule?
You can't act and star in it?
Well, sort of. So in Outlaw of Josie Wales, I believe is the movie, Clint Eastwood was trying to fuck one of the ladies on the movie. The director also wanted to fuck the lady, so they just hated each other. And then the director was like, I want to do like all these things, and like he wanted to make a very like detailed. He had a vision. He's the fucking director. And Clint Eastwood was like, fuck you, just shoot the movie. So they were like fighting about this every day. And then one day the director was like, I need this specific beer bottle for this shot. And he's like, I'll be right back. And he leaves. And Clint Eastwood's like, start rolling. And they shot the whole scene and then left. And the director came back and no one was there.
Okay, but that's us.
So yeah, I know, 100%. So they fire the director. And then the producer's like, me and Clint will just make the movie. It's fine. And then the Directors Guild's like, hey, man, you can't fucking do that. That's fucking crazy. Like, that guy spent all these months in pre-production and making the movie, and now you're just going to take it over. So they passed a rule where you can't, if you're a producer or an actor, you cannot fire the director and take his spot.
Watch me not apply that in the next year of my life to other things.
So they
that's what people think I did with Joe.
I know. She broke the Eastwood rule. Everyone's in a tizzy. The union's gonna hear about this one. the podcasters union.
That's
but
surely coming, right?
oh, 100%, 100%. It'll be awful. It'll be the fucking worst. So anyway, they were gonna hire a producer, one of the producers, or there was a production assistant, the Alves guy who directs 3. They wanted him to do it, but he couldn't because he was already on the movie, so they couldn't hire him. So they brought in that French feller. I'm not even gonna say Gino Schwartz. I don't know. So they bring him in. He ends up directing this movie.
Jaws 2. I'm really not someone who, when I'm watching movies ever alone or with someone, I don't talk during movies. I don't give a fuck. During Jaws 2, I found myself being like, yeah, get that bitch every time the shark came, because the kids in this movie are like so fucking annoying, especially the one girl who's with the son on that one raft, just like fucking screaming. I was like, please get her ass. Like, this is infuriating. There's like 30,000 kids.
I think it might be a shark movie thing because I never, why would I speak out loud when I'm watching a movie by myself? I never. Every movie I watched so far, at least once, usually multiple times, I was like, what the fuck is this idiot doing? Like, I was talking during these shark movies. There's something about them where you're just like, geez, Blake Lively's trying to get like fucking shit in the water, trying to get a camera. I was like, get it, bitch. What are you doing? Grab the fucking camera. What are we fucking doing here? I was like yelling at the TV. I was like, oh, that's fucking weird. 47 meters down, I was like, oh, out loud.
Dude. No, wait till you watch on Cage. There's a moment. But fucking, no, Jaws 2, and I texted you during it about the TV cuts that is also in Jaws 3.
Yes, which is interesting. Yeah, and I do think that was like a... because they made so much money putting it on TV that I think they were just like, let's just build the cuts into it. And, and fucking, that way it's ready to go for TV when it's out. Jaws, okay, so Jaws 1, I'm going to call it a masterpiece because that's what everyone thinks. So
thank you.
Let's call it a masterpiece.
Let's.
I would say it's fine.
Okay, well, you just said let's call it a masterpiece, so...
Jaws 2 and Jaws 1 for me, same level.
Crazy as fuck. Dude, Brody unloading a fucking clip into the ocean while they're like kids everywhere.
Here's my question, though. What's so great about Jaws 1?
Everything.
See, that's what people say. And it's like, well, tell me what's so great about it. But anyway.
Well, it's like I said, I don't know if it was, it must have been last week. There's stakes. There's stakes. It's the 4th of July.
Yeah. And Jaws 2, for as different as it is, it's the same story, by the way. Roy Schneider, Brody is just like, we gotta shut the beach down. And they're like, no way, Jose. We gotta race boats, baby. This time it's not the holiday, it's the boat race.
Well, and you have the Jaws shot. Like, it was an influential movie, but also, for sure, just the nostalgia factor. And I feel like that is the definitive, like, summer movie. Like, wasn't Jaws the first blockbuster also?
Yeah, probably. I would say that's probably accurate. It was a big deal.
But above all else, Jaws just fucks. And that's all there is to it.
All right. So Jaws is up there, way up there, right? Jaws 2, I mean, this is one where you have to separate Jaws from the sequels, right? You can't even really compare them against each other. Jaws 2 is a goodish sequel.
It's okay. I really was... I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
But I was honestly, because Keith Gordon's wearing like glasses in some of it, and at some point he takes it off, and I was like, is that fucking arty? I was blown away by that.
It's fucking nuts. So that's where we're at. So then they're like, hey, we need to make a movie. We need another one. Originally pitched, by the way, as a straight spoof. They wanted to do a straight spoof. They had hired the writer of Animal House, a National Lampoon, to write a Jaws spoof. The title, the original title of Jaws 3, and I think they should have kept it. Jaws 3, People Zero.
Wait, who? John Hughes?
No.
Who
John
wrote
Hughes
Animal
did-
House?
One of the guys from National Lampoon.
Who the fuck wrote Animal House?
Dude. It's not going to be, it's not like, I don't think it's like a known name except in like comedy circles. Well, and I think it was written by a few people. I mean, Harold Ramis was one of them, but I forget the other one. I think it was Doug Kenny or Chris Miller. One of them was the ones that, it wasn't Harold Ramis though, but National Lampoons was a group of people. So,
Not my wheelhouse. Was unaware of that.
I know. So they bring one of these guys in to write a spoof, Jaws 3, People Zero, and that title fucking rocks, and I wish they kept it. And Steven Spielberg shut it down by threatening to never work with Universal ever again if they released a spoof of Jaws.
You tell them. Stand on your shit.
That's when I was like, all right, you're back. You're back. You're back, baby.
Love that.
He's back.
Dude, that's so funny.
Yeah. So Jaws 3 takes place in SeaWorld with the Brody boys, Michael and Sean, being older. Dennis Quaid is Michael, which is
Dude.
kind of fucking funny. And it is shot in 3D. And it is one of the most... Oh, why do you have props? Lexi's wearing 3D glasses. Like the old
Fun fact, I put these on while I was watching Jaws 3.
Without the 3D movie? Or were you watching the 3D version?
I was watching the 3D version.
You're fucking nuts. You're fucking psychotic. That's insane.
Well, I wanted to see if it worked, and it did.
Yeah, you saw the fish head floating towards you?
Yeah, and the glass broke right at me. I dodged it.
Dodged it? Well, it's easy to dodge because I've never seen a slower moving thing in my entire fucking life.
It's fucking crazy.
It actually makes me take back all of my criticisms of Final Destination and its 3D use because at least it's coming at you at a speed where you're like, wow, that's crazy.
Well, it was making me laugh because when I first started the movie, I did not have these bad boys on. And the first fucking, like, goddamn 20 minutes is just that fucking fish head floating at you in 3D. And I was like, these movies do not have, like, lasting power unless you're watching it in 3D. So then I got my 3D glasses on.
It's so weird. I don't know why people thought 3D was ever going to be a thing. I don't know. Were you old enough to remember when they were pushing for 3D at home? Like the 3D DVD players?
Yes.
And you had to like 3D TVs.
Yeah.
You like, oh my God, it's so fucking nuts. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking.
I still want a 3D TV so badly.
That's stupid because I don't think anything works with it. So.
Also, fun fact,
these
these are Nightmare on Elm Street ones that came with my DVD box set.
Yeah, that's the shit. I have those.
Then why aren't you wearing them?
Because I would never wear those. Fucking insane. I forgot what I was gonna say about 3D, but anyway. So SeaWorld. How does SeaWorld co-sign on this? Because nowadays brands are like, you can't paint us in a bad light. And in this one, they're like, hey, everything in SeaWorld sucks and is broken and you'll die in a
That's so interesting, actually. Yeah, because SeaWorld, always the villain, but especially in this movie, like SeaWorld, were they just banking on the fact that people would hate the shark?
Yeah.
Like... Were they riding on the bloody trail of Bruce from the original Jaws and being like, yeah, everyone hates sharks? Like,
yeah, 100%. 100%.
Dude, it's crazy. It's actually insane that they did agree to be in this.
It's fucking nuts. But not so much like the SeaWorld people being bad, which they are, because they're like, keep that fucking shark, put it in a fucking tank. But they also like structurally, Jaws tears down the underwater cafe and people are trapped there dying. And you're like, hey, that's not a great look for business.
Not at all. And also, buddy, go get every single fucking one of them. You know what I mean? It's like everyone, and maybe this wasn't the case in 83, I think. Maybe everyone didn't hate SeaWorld at that point. Maybe people like didn't fucking care as much. But
No, they did
I
not
cannot
care.
fucking imagine watching that movie and not being like, yeah, fucking get all of them. Eat every single last one of them. They fucking kept you in captivity and give you a 1-inch fucking pool to swim around in. Yeah, get them. Feast.
Nominated for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Razzies. Worst picture, worst supporting actor for Louis Gossett Jr., which fair enough. The scene of him swimming underwater, like through an underwater air duct for 45 minutes is fucking crazy. Worst director, Joe Alves. Worst screenplay, Richard Matheson. Worst new star, Cindy and Sandy, the Dolphins. They didn't win any Razzies. They took none home. All nominations there, but good luck. Good try, guys. You guys tried it. But yeah, it was fucking weird. And $18 million budget, $88 million box office on that.
When did Universal in Orlando open?
Oh gosh, that's a good question.
Because there's a SeaWorld right next door. I wonder if they ran some sort of cross collaboration blood money scheme.
Probably. I don't know. 1990. Wow.
Oh. Also, I meant to bring this up earlier. I want to go on the Jaws ride at Universal more than I want to breathe air or wake up tomorrow morning. And the one in Orlando, I've only been to that one. They obviously don't have it anymore. The one in Hollyweird does have it. And that is like the sole reason I ever want to go to Los Angeles is I want to ride the Jaws ride so fucking badly.
Well, we might be out in LA soon. Maybe.
I know.
So.
That's why I really need that to work out.
Yeah, that's the main reason. So anyway, so Jaws 3D, it's Michael and Sean. Well, Sean's not really in 3, right? Or I get these mixed up.
Dude, I don't know. Each movie has like 50 fucking characters in it for some reason. The boys are played by different people in every movie.
They are. And their ages fluctuate. It's fucking crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
It's fucking nuts. Oh yeah, this is the one. Oh yeah, this is the one with the grenade. This ending sucks. And it really just ends with like basically like, come to SeaWorld, we have dolphins. Because Dennis Quaid and his girlfriend pop out of the water and are like, and there's also a thread of like these thieves who are like, we're gonna steal the coral. How about instead of breaking into SeaWorld to steal coral, just go to the beach right next door. You're in Florida. Go just fucking stealing coral from.
It's fucking crazy that SeaWorld is still operating today.
I don't think it is.
No, the one in Orlando is still open. And I think there's another location too.
I thought they were shutting that shit down.
And let me talk my shit real fast. Okay? Everybody hates SeaWorld because of that doc that came out. I forget what it was called.
Blackfish.
Sure. That opened everyone's eyes up. Hey guys, keep the same energy for zoos. Like, what are we fucking talking about? SeaWorld and zoos are essentially the exact same thing.
No.
What are you about to fucking say to me?
Nope.
What are you about to say?
Nope. Aquariums and zoos, not most, the good ones are research facilities. And they usually help
that
prevent the extinction of endangered species.
Is not true. That is not true. And because that's the thing is, and I was thinking about this all during Jaws. Jaws 3, I was having some like real existential like thoughts during it. I was texting Sean while I was watching. But that's the thing is I was thinking about like sanctuary zoos and stuff like that. where like the animals there actually can't survive in the wild, so they're at these zoos. And then I was like, oh, but they're still being exploited, and I don't love that. And then I was like, but wait, like the ticket sales and shit pay for them to be able to like take care of the animals, and it's all just like a fucking, it's a
It's
mess.
hard.
It's a complex
It's so hard.
situation.
Have you ever seen the monkeys in Japan?
No,
It's very cool what they do. Because it's a
I don't.
giant. No, wait, listen. Just listen to me.
Okay.
Giant forest, open forest, no cages. The people are in the cages. So it's a walking path where you're caged in and you're in the woods where they natively are. It's not like shipped in monkeys, you know? It's the monkeys from there, but the humans are in the fucking cage and you walk through their habitat and they're like, you could see them. And I was like,
Yeah, I'm
like
fine
this.
with that as long as the pathway doesn't like disturb their environment, which surely it does. But just the notion, don't even, oh my God, I'm already fucking there. But just like gawking at animals in fucking like miserable conditions for your idiot child's enjoyment is so fucking psychotic. I hate that.
It's also weird too because I talked about this last week with James where he was like obsessed with that show Octonauts. And it made me think about these parents that are like, my kids don't watch TV. And I was like, hey, you know what? James got a fucking like PhD education in aquatic life from this TV show. Like he knew every fucking fish species. And I was like, this is better than the fucking zoo.
Everything's better than the fucking zoo.
There you go.
I hate zoos. I hate SeaWorld. Fuck them both.
All right.
Don't even get me fucking started
again. We're going to talk
again.
about the zoos. I'm going to bring you around to the zoos. Anyway.
You absolutely will the fuck not.
Jaws 3D. A stinker?
It's not great.
It's really
not. I mean, the 3D glass is short. It's a little fun. But the movie itself, I was just waiting for it to be over, honestly.
It's pretty bad. Now.
It was bad. And again, it's like, could they have created a more sympathetic shark in that movie?
I know. It's really fucking weird. Like
a mommy, mommy whose baby got taken into captivity. And
that is a weird fucking move. The mom coming for the kid is always the good guy in every movie ever made.
Yes. What were we thinking with that? Like, what was the angle you guys were going for?
That's fucking crazy.
And then to blow her up anyway?
Blow her up. Blow her to smithereens. Smithereens. Bring that word back. Whatever the fuck it means. Jaws 3D or Jaws 4?
Jaws 3D. Ellen Brody's got too much screen time in Jaws 4.
But I think Jaws 4 is a more fun to watch.
Dude, in the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean.
I mean, I guess I know what you mean.
It's Jaws 3 was like rough for me. I was like, this ain't it. And this is where I came up with my theory of the two sequels. Cause I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Remake Jaws. Fucking give me another sequel. Do whatever the fuck you want. Because this is blight on the franchise.
Dude, we as a society are so lucky that Jaws didn't get remade in like 2009, 2010 when every movie was, and we got like a crazy CGI shark.
I agree with that 100%. And then that weird ass quality.
Yeah, we dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, no, we really fucking did.
I wonder if that was in talks.
I'm sure it probably gets brought up probably once every 2 years. Like,
I think, and I would need to look into this. I wonder if Spielberg has ownership over Jaws at all, and if he has like say, because I could see Spielberg being like, absolutely fucking not. Like, you're not
for
making
sure
another
not.
Jaws movie.
For sure not. He for sure does not have any fucking say in it.
You don't think so?
Not at all. He's not a producer. He has no producer credit. Universal bought the fucking rights to Jaws.
Oh.
They hired Spielberg to direct. He didn't even write the fucking thing. So it's like, I don't think he's got any fucking claim. And the fact that he had to use like, hey, Universal, I'm not going to make a movie for you if you make this, that's the only leverage he had. And like, are they waiting for just Spielberg to kick it before they do this? Do one of those moves?
Stop. I will chain myself to the Universal front door and to stop them from doing that.
Like, hey, it's sort of like the Netflix, like not doing a Saturday Night Live show because they've been talking about it forever. But the guy's obsessed with Lorne Michaels and loves him so much that he's like, yeah, I'm not going to ever make but when Lorne's gone, he's going to immediately swoop in and fucking.
That'll be interesting. I will show up at Universal dressed just like this, boycotting.
And they'll be like, get the fuck out of here, little
protesting.
Little boy. Get this little boy off our doorsteps.
Don't make me call Mick Garris here.
So Jaws 4, The Revenge. Now, one thing about Jaws 4 that drives me nuts, drives me absolutely bonkers, and I believe this started with the not post-mortem, what was the other one? Shockwaves, the Killer POV / Shockwaves, that crew. And I remember I heard it in Joe's car once. We were driving somewhere and he was listening to it. I was like, Joe, this is fucking pissing me off. Turn this off. Like, this is fucking making me so mad. Because they were arguing. And then I saw the woman from that, Rebecca McKendry or whatever. No shade. She was in that shark documentary. Saying the same thing. So I think
I should have been in that.
I think it should have been, I think it might have been her fucking idea. So, you know, whatever. Jaws 4 is not a fucking slasher movie.
Well, yeah, of course.
Hey, well, a bunch of ding-dongs on the Killer POV and on this shark documentary were like, Jaws 4 is a fucking slasher movie because the shark is stalking them and killing them. And I was like, hey, first of all, I don't think that's the definition of a slasher movie.
Can we make our own shark doc?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shark doc. It'll be called Shark Doc.
No, that's insane.
Shark Doc starring Doc Shark, and you're Doc Shark.
Fucking, but it's like, to your point last week about the idiotic take you had about shark movies being a part of animal movies, which is insane still. But it's like, you can't give a shark movie the same parameters as like a human being movie.
Right.
You know?
And I think, yes, I agree. But I that's a weird thing. Shark movies are weird, man. Shark movies are fucking weird.
And so good.
So good-ish. Not really, but
just wait. Your toes are barely wet.
My toes are barely wet. No pun intended. Just step it into the pool. Jaws 4 is a little gorier than others, in my opinion. Although still doing the whole like splashing, whipping around visual for every kill, which kind of drives
as well. You have the element of Ellen being like psychically connected to the shark for some reason.
She's not psychically connected.
And she's like, the shark's coming for my family. I know it was him.
Well, so this is a weird thing that I wanted to talk about, because part of the thing that this movie gets a bad rap for is, oh, the shark remembers them and swims to the Bahamas to chase them because they know it's the Brodies and it's going to kill them. And that's why it was classified as a slasher, because the shark was chasing this family. I don't think that's the fucking case. Because Michael Caine at one point is like, hey, your mom has this fucking...
Michael Caine in this?
I don't know. I have no idea. But Michael Caine was like, hey, to one of the Brody kids, was like, hey, your mom is fucking nuts and thinks this is the shark that ate your dad and is coming to get you guys. And it's like, that's the only reference to that. And it is, when you look at it that way, and you look at Ellen Brody in this, Ellen Brody is grieving. By the way, Jaws 3 does not exist in this universe because Mike was an engineer for SeaWorld. Yes. And now he's a marine scientist. And one of the Universal press releases for Jaws: The Revenge and I think that's why they didn't call it 4, refers to this 4th film in the series as the 3rd film of the remarkable Jaws trilogy, which is fucking interesting.
Interesting.
Right? And in the original script, they wanted to have Martin Brody be the shark's first victim.
Okay.
But Roy Scheider was like, absolutely fucking not. I'm not doing this.
Do you think they would have had him kiss the shark on the lips and then die?
Yeah, probably.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Halloween Resurrection.
Oh.
I would have loved that.
That would have been sick. And then chop off his head. So they were going to kill him. Did you notice in 3? No mention of Dad. Daddy was not mentioned in 3.
I did not notice that.
Daddy not mentioned. So I was like, wait, that's weird. What the fuck happened to Daddy? And then in 4, they just retcon him and are like, yeah, by the way, he had a heart attack right after 2, so he's dead. You're like, oh, okay. Very cool. So anyway, Ellen's dealing with grief. Her son dies in the opening of this movie. The youngest Brody son is killed by a shark. And so she's like, hey, this shark is after my fucking family. He keeps showing up, keeps eating. I don't think they ever are like, yes, this is the because the shark has exploded. In Jaws 2, smoke is coming out of the shark's eyes.
Good.
Which was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Only because,
oh my God, wait, like, what the fuck? What is Brody's, what is his, they kind of try to do the smile, you son of a bitch thing again in Jaws 2, but I can't remember what he says. And it's like, you can hear in Roy's inflection that he like doesn't want to be saying it. I think it's open wide.
Yeah.
And you can hear it in his voice, like he's just like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, fun fact, it was his mentality. So
Jaws 2 tagline, though, one of the best taglines of all time.
Well, yeah, I mean, used constantly.
Right. Sorry. Okay, back to Jaws 4.
And the Jaws tagline is, for the listeners,
just when you thought it was safe to get back in the water.
Yeah. Good. That's a good one. Now, Jaws 4's tagline was, this time it's personal. So I guess they kind of leaned into the shark is chasing them. But like, I don't know, man.
That tagline, Fox, I'm sorry. The movie's not great. The concept's not great. Saying of a shark movie this time is personal, that fucking rocks.
Well, I also love in Back to the Future, because the tagline for Jaws 19, with the holographic Jaws that Marty McFly sees, the tagline for that is, this time it's really, really personal. Which is fucking the funniest shit in the world. Lorraine Gary comes back for 4, as we've mentioned. It's not great. Nominated for a whopping 7 Razzies.
Wowee.
Winning 1. They won 1 Razzie. Worst actor, Bruce the Shark. Worst actress, Lorraine Gary. Worst supporting actor, Michael Caine. Worst screenplay, Michael de Guzman. Worst picture, Joe Sargent. Worst director, Joe Sargent. And the one they won was worst visual effects, Henry Millar. He won it for the worst visual effects. This was the 8th annual Golden Raspberry Awards in 1988.
Is Bruce the Shark in all 4 of them? Because I know they used him again for the second one. Do they use him in the 3rd and 4th one? They must.
No, and no, they started even in 2. I don't think they even reused him. They got new ones, but I think they were the same shitty quality. But then you read, dude, the lore of Jaws is so lost now. I feel like it's so convoluted and there's so many contradicting stories. Because in 2, that's what I always heard. It was the same shark, and they did have mechanical issues with it, but you can't, like, it. You read other things where it's like, yeah, and then they had to build these other new ones, and they were just as shitty.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The whole lore is like, I feel like it's become larger than itself.
Larger than life.
Larger than life.
That's our doc. Jaws, larger than life.
There you go. I was gonna read off the winners of the Razzies, but they kind of aren't that interesting. It basically, Bill Cosby swept them for Leonard Part 6. So that's that. I was really excited to pull that up. I love sometimes I just don't look things up and I'm like, the bit of this episode is going to be, I'm going to go through all the Razzies and it'll be funny. And then I don't click the link or look at it. And then I look at it on the show and I'm like, yeah.
It's interesting that Spielberg wasn't nominated for an Oscar for the first Jaws.
What year was that? 1975?
Yes. It was nominated for Best Picture.
For Oscars?
Yeah, it won for Best Music, Best Film Editing, and Best Sound, but Spielberg himself wasn't nominated.
Right, because Best Picture is the producer.
Which is kind of crazy.
I mean, it's crazy they won any just because, I mean, it was like massively successful. So I'm going to take back I'm not going to say it. It's a fucking dumb thought. But it just seemed like such an underdog at the time. Like it for sure was. So I don't know. Anyway, One Flew Over a Cuckoo. Jaws was nominated for Best Picture. Oh, you said that. One Flew Over the Cuckoo. It was up against One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Which is returning to theaters next month, and I'm so fucking excited.
I saw that. Dog Day Afternoon and Nashville.
You know what's crazy is in his heyday. No, this is actually crazy because I just saw what he looks like in the movie in my head. But you know what? I'm standing on my shit. Brad Dourif is so fuckable in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's kind of insane.
I don't care about anything you say about who's attractive and who's not. It's just fucking demented. It's just fucking ridiculous. It's the shit you comes out of your mouth is fucking wacky.
He looks good.
Okay. Okay. So Jaws 4, you rank it below Jaws 3D.
I think so, but I think the honest evaluation of the situation would be that they are like neck and neck with each other. They are right. They're the same.
I would probably put Jaws. I think Jaws 4 might be a good, bad movie.
Okay.
I don't think it's a purely bad movie. I think it is a good, bad movie, which puts it in a different tier than 3D because I think 3D just kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. The franchise is interesting, and comparing horror franchises is fun and movie franchises is fun to me. I think it's interesting because I think most of them are very bad. And I've caught flack for this before, but I think if you look at it like statistically and just quality wise, like, is The Conjuring the best horror franchise? I think so. Financially and quality wise, they're pumping
Scream
out
up until the 5th one.
Well, you can't say that.
I just did.
Also, are Scream 3 and 4 good? Okay.
What do you mean?
Scream Summer next month. Just we're just gonna pick topics that I can piss her off.
You and I don't think you and I have had a formal verbal conversation about what's happening with Scream 7, and we do need to have that soon for sure.
Okay, all right. Let's do that. Let's do that on a bonus episode or something.
This just in, Bruce the Shark will be in Scream 7. I'd love that.
I would love that. The other piece of data I want to pull for next week, if I can remember, I want to see how many shark movies have been nominated for Razzies. Because I bet it's all. It really is fucking all of them.
Save you the time, all of them.
There's no way. There's no way, right? They must be the biggest category. And then the only other thing I wanted to mention, and it has nothing to do with this. Oh, kind of. Anyway, we talked about Lionsgate either last week or the week before, I think. And you were like, the title card. We talked about the title cards or whatever, the production cards. The Lionsgate Green Smoke title card that hit in the 2000s. Not a fan.
Mm-mm.
I don't know what they were thinking there. It's like the green smoke goes over. And then they like went to LFG or whatever it is. Right, get the fuck out of here.
Universal, if you're listening, invite me to the Jaws ride. Invite me. I want to ride the Jaws ride.
Yeah, I mean,
and
I
bring
think
it back to
like,
Orlando.
They'll be like, come, there's no line. No one goes on this fucking piece of shit anymore.
What the fuck replaced the Jaws ride? I can't remember now.
I don't know. Probably like Harry Potter's fucking ride a Gryffindor thing.
Probably is some dumb fucking bullshit like that. Bet you any amount of fucking money is something ridiculous like that. What? I need
Harry
to find
Potter and the Escape from Gringotts.
I think I wrote that one against my will.
Oh,
I don't give a fuck about Harry Potter.
Okay, cool guy.
I don't give a fuck about Harry Potter, and I would take the Jaws ride over that any single fucking day. And the fact, when's the last time you were at Universal Orlando?
A few years ago, right before
You love
COVID,
The Simpsons. You love The Simpsons, so I don't know what your stance on this will be. But replacing Back to the Future with The Simpsons.
Bad move.
Bad move.
Bad move. I do love the Simpsons world, though. I love the Simpsons world. I think it's fucking cool. I will say this, and I think I've talked about it on the show. Joe and I went on that Simpsons ride together, and both of us...
simulation?
Both of us struggled walking the rest of the day. That thing whips your fucking head around to the point where when I went with James, like he wanted to go on it so bad, even though he liked The Simpsons, even though he hadn't seen it. It was just like the idea of The Simpsons. And he wanted to go on it so bad. And I was like, James, I'm legitimately afraid your neck will fucking snap, because I had a migraine and my neck fucking hurt all day after I rode that fucking ride. Me and Joe had the same reaction. Like I was like creaking my neck, and Joe was like, oh dude, like me fucking too. Like what the fuck? And I was like, dude, that ride fucked me up.
That ride fucking sucks. And when I think of it, I was waiting in line for it. And I had an appointment with my psych NP that day, like a phone appointment. And he called me and I was in the Simpsons ride. And I was trying to talk to him. And he was like, hey, Lexi, can you just like fucking call me back later?
When Mo was like, hey there. You know what else is weird about Universal that fucking bugged me out? And I'm sure it's all theme parks now, but I only saw it happen in Universal. We got stopped going into Harry Potter for some reason, and they made Joe. This fucking bugged me out. They stopped Joe because like his.
I would too.
His ticket didn't scan or something. It was fucking something weird, and they were like, "What were the last 3 rides you were on?"
What?
And he named them, and they were like, "Okay, yeah." But you don't scan your ticket to get on rides.
No.
So it's all facial recognition shit. So
that's bizarre.
Dude, they track you in that fucking park.
That is bizarre.
Isn't that fucking weird?
I am not a theme park person, like at all. Like I don't like amusement parks. It's not my thing. Universal, I get that they want to keep it modern and shit to keep like young crowds around, but they're fucking getting rid of all the good shit and replacing it with like fucking Simpsons Land. And I mean, the Spider-Man ride is fun, but I would so rather have like a Jaws or Back to the Future ride.
Okay, things that they could have gotten rid of instead of Back to the Future and Jaws. Men in Black.
Yeah,
Gone.
It's not great.
Gone. Revenge of the Mummy. Get it out of here.
Yeah.
Get it out of here. Transformers?
Bye.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
My issue with it, and this is where I'm like, I don't want to go anti-Simpsons on it, is Simpsons is a lifelong IP.
Yeah.
That's a forever. That'll roll forever. Transformers, are you fucking kidding me?
Waste of my fucking time.
Men in Black, are you fucking kidding me?
Universal, and I don't know how different the Los Angeles one is from Orlando. Universal is actually like, it's fun.
It's the best one. It's fucking awesome.
But it would be so much more fun if they made it more universal and not just like You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
and now
like
they got the
Dr.
Mario
Seuss
Land.
Land. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, fucking dude, Epic Universal has that whole monsters thing, and I
Yeah.
actually do want to go to that, but I would rather
Same.
slice my neck open with a dull blade than ever step foot in Florida again.
Okay, well, that's a take. Sorry, Florida listeners.
They get it. But
She
I
has
do
some
want to
trauma
go.
over there.
I do want to go to Epic Universal. I keep seeing people like post about it, and it looks very cool.
It does look cool. It does look cool. Yeah, the Dr.
Did you,
Seuss Land ain't great, but you got to do something for the kiddos.
dude? The Cat in the Hat ride is so haunting. It's so scary in there.
I did not do it. I mean, Cat in the Hat in general is pretty scary. Have you ever seen Drop Dead Fred?
No.
I don't know
Should
how
I?
that's going to impact you as an adult. I don't know. If you saw it as a kid, some people are like, I love Drop Dead Fred. My sister was obsessed with Drop Dead Fred when we were kids. Drop
look
Dead
this
Fred gave me the fucking willies to a point. It's basically Cat in the Hat, but it's about a mentally ill little girl who has an invisible friend who does really bad things to their house and to her mother. And he's British, and I hated every second of it. Hated every fucking moment of it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, it was
My
it was
sister
a flick.
My sister told me that when I was little, I like loved Cat in the Hat. I have no recollection of this, but like the adaptation, and that I would walk around the house constantly just being like, "I'm sorry, baby, I love you," and that was like my thing that I would say all the time. So that's a little
There you go.
factoid. I don't remember that at all. But did Los Angeles get Epic Universal, or is that literally just Orlando?
I think it's just one of them. I thought it was in LA.
But why are we putting theme parks in Florida? Like Disney's there. What are we doing?
I don't know, man.
Dude, it makes I get wanting to do it in like a warm climate and everything. Do it in fucking Texas. It's like, you want to do it in a hurricane state?
Yeah, that is a little weird. But Texas is like 1,000 degrees.
So is fucking
Well, I guess
Florida.
Florida is too.
Dude, I was dying. It was so fucking hot walking around that goddamn theme park. Fucking hellish.
The dark universe.
There was a vegan crepe at Universal that I think about constantly. It was a big heifer. It was so fucking good.
Well, that seems like a good time to wrap it up. We were just talking about fucking things you've eaten. Thank you all for joining us. Head on over to patreon.com/IHateHorror if you want to support the show. We've got Until Joe Comes Back. Please pay us until Joe comes back. But we got cool stickers. We're doing like sticker packs every other month or so, but we're trying to do every month. We've got the ideas already for this one. And I think we just added a new one, which is Toby Hooper directed Jaws.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. So that's in the pack now. And we got 2 other ones that I want to surprise you guys with.
That's fucking funny.
We'll do a bonus shark episode that'll hit soon.
Are we doing a live show with the shark movie? And if so, what movie should it be? I'll have to think on this.
Maybe the found footage one?
It's boring. You wouldn't want to watch that for like a live show.
I love that this whole episode you'd be like, wait till you see this fucking movie.
Well,
because blow
it's
your
funny.
Fucking hair back.
It's funny to it's funny to make
you can't watch that with people.
It's funny to make you watch that like in the comfort of your own home. It's not funny to do like a live show with it.
Could it be Sharknado?
I saw that in theaters for some reason. So do I.
I hate those.
What
about The Reef?
I reckon we ought to do Into the Deep starring Scott Taylor Compton.
Well, we could also stream some other Scout vids if we wanted to.
I wonder if we could get her to come on to talk about Into the Deep.
Of course you could, Lexi. It would take you probably about 15 minutes to set that up. Fucking kidding me?
But we'll have to look into this. If anyone ever listens to the end of the show now, let us know the shark movie you want to watch for a live show.
Yeah, we could do that. I'm trying to think, like, I don't know which one would. Oh, well, it's not a shark movie, but we could have done Crawl. That would be fun. That's a fun.
Crawl is so fucking good. Apex
know.
Predator all day.
You heard it here first. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, hit us up, Patreon people. We'll put a poll on Patreon. We'll let them choose.
Sharks for days. Maybe I'll make an appearance this time.
Yeah, that would be fun. All right,
Maybe
so that's it.
Rudolph.
Patreon.com/IHateHorror. You were supposed to put up a shark contest on Tuesday.
I was.
So
I'll get that up tomorrow, folks.
By the time this episode drops, let's let it run until this episode comes out today.
I'll let it run until, when does this episode come out?
Tuesday, the 15th.
We'll say Friday the 20th, the actual anniversary of Jaws is when we'll
There you go, Friday the 20th. So check out Instagram at I Hate Horror. We've got a shark contest going on to win a bunch of Jaws merch. No.
Yeah.
I said you were going to put it up on Tuesday, so.
Okay.
You did. So anyway, do whatever she tells you to do to get entered to win that. And I'm going to send out another pack for, I'm going to pick a winner on Patreon too.
And before we jump off on the note of giveaways, I just wanted to say, I think this is so darling. The person who won the movie theater gift card thing was like, hey, can you donate that $50 to like my local independent theater? So Nick Gehrig, I think that's how you say it. I don't know. I thought that was so fucking cute. I thought that was so cute.
Sweet. It was
so
awesome.
Shout out
to him. Anyway, that's it. Time for bed. Time to go to bed. Thank you guys all so much. Instagram at I Hate Horror, patreon.com/IHateHorror, IHateHorror.com. We got the merch up. And that's it, everyone. So for Lexi, how do I say it? For Lexi, what do I say? And for Joe, for Lexi, this is Sean. Stay Hollyweird, baby. It's the most aggressive shit.